It's time to declutter the toys because it's been a whole decade of accumulating and not quite getting rid of enough. So we've already decluttered the stuffed animals, which we started off in their room, then we went to their clothes, and then we went to their books just to finish up with their things upstairs. And now onto their toys, which used to be stored underneath our stairs, but then we decided to dedicate a room to their toys. I pulled a few things out on the haul, and that's because they need to be relocated or donated already. I think the fact that they were in the middle of playing will give you a better idea of all the toys that we have versus when they're tucked away and it looks a lot more crisp and put away. So this is in the middle of their play. So the bed has to stay because obviously it's for when we have guests over. We have 2 mattresses, so it could be 2 people that can sleep there. And then in terms of the trampoline, I actually got that for free, and it's going to stay because we live in a cold climate, so it really helps with getting their energy out during the day. I must add, the kids were absolute troopers. The fact that they were in the middle of play and they were willing to go do this project with me. I basically gave them this bin, and I asked them to go through with me every single toy in that room and decide on what we keep and what we're going to give away. But there was a spin on it. I had them think about something. I basically asked them, is this an item that you would save your money to buy again? If it was, then they got to keep it. If it wasn't and they were in agreement, then it needed to be passed along. So if you notice, there are some things that are broken, but there are some really good things in here that they just simply did not want to save their money for to buy again. And obviously I want to make them do that, but we had a good discussion about how to approach it. It really helped to put things in perspective on what things are important to them and what things they just have because they've accumulated over the years. So we had another little talk about decluttering and what things are important to us and what things we actually use and what things they love to play with. I think using a bag or a container and asking your kids to fill it up with things that they don't use anymore after you've had a conversation with them about decluttering and passing things along to other people, I think this technique is really useful and it helps the kids a lot. We usually just go through the toys and just ask them what they want to get rid of, and of course one kid might want to keep it, the other kids might want to get rid of it. So this really helped to just put things in perspective. I think it helped to better understand, do you really love this item, or is it something that you're totally fine with just passing along and not having? The hardest thing for me personally was getting rid of things like this treehouse that we ended up paying full price for because it was a last minute gift for Christmas a few years back. Granted, they played with it for a few years, but I don't think they actually played with it a lot of times. And so it's just nice to be able to part with some of these bigger things that they don't really use as often. It's also hard to think ahead and decide what my little one's going to play with too, because in reality there are toys that he can be using as he grows older. So I ended up finding even 2 more bins of toys that he usually plays with now, so we had to go through all these toys too and just decide what we're keeping and what we're getting rid of, because the truth is this room was honestly exploding and we really needed to pass along many of the toys. So here's everything we got rid of. I wish I could show you how I organized the playroom, but we're in the middle of construction trying to redo the floors, and so that's going to have to wait for the next video. And just like that, 272 more items donated at the donation center or passed along to other families. And ladies, as always, we would love, love, love your support, so please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next week.